Forgiveness is one of the true keys to happiness. That's right, I said it. I believe that forgiveness is truly one of the keys to happiness. I'll tell you why I said that. About 5 years ago, my mom, Sharonda Ann Coleman Singleton, was murdered in the worst way you could ever think it could happen. It was in my church, and it was based on the color of her skin. Somebody actually walked into my church and took 9 lives based on the color of their skin. And what did I do? Guys, I'm Chris Singleton. I'm a former professional baseball player drafted by the Cubs, current inspirational speaker. And what I did was, I forgave the person that murdered my mom. I know it's crazy. I know it's unheard of to forgive somebody for murdering your parent or somebody you love. But I believe that forgiveness is one of the true keys to happiness. Personally, guys, there's no way in the world I could ever speak about what I do if I didn't have forgiveness in my heart. You see, after about 48 hours after my mom was murdered, I gave a speech and I said that love is stronger than hate. So if we just love the way my mom would, hate won't be anywhere close to where love is. And when I said these words, though, they went viral. You know, social media blew up. There was over 10,000 followers that day on my social medias. Like, I got to be on the Today Show. I got to meet John Cena, Cam Newton, Alex Rodriguez, all these different people. And it all came from my forgiveness. But what did it do to me internally? Guys, I believe if we can channel the power of forgiveness, it's going to unlock so many different things in our lives. I know that it hurt, but when we were able to move forward, I think it is truly, truly impactful. Notice how I said move forward and not forget. Sometimes people say to me, Chris, can you forgive and forget? And I say, there is no way you can forgive and forget. Especially if it hurt that bad. There's no way you can forgive and forget, but you can forgive and move forward. Guys, when you don't forgive someone, you're allowing them to have dominion over your mind, over your thoughts, all these different things. I believe when we forgive someone, we're freeing ourselves. I know it sounds crazy, but sometimes we are thinking bad about a person based on something they did to us years or months or weeks ago, and by not forgiving them, they're on our mind 24/7. When in actuality, they may not even be thinking about the thing they did to hurt us. So weeks, months, maybe even years can go by, and they're in your mind, but you're not in theirs. They're living their life as if it never happened. Guys, one of my favorite quotes about forgiveness says that forgiveness is setting a prisoner free, only to later realize that you yourself were the prisoner. So how do we forgive? We forgive by first and foremost saying, I want to forgive this person for doing this to me, whatever it may be, because it's going to free me from this emotion, whatever that may be, and it's going to allow me to do great things, do unimaginable things in my life and be great. For me personally, I love to tell the story about how I spoke about forgiveness at this conference, and a kid told me a story I will never forget. He was 19 years old. He came down and he said, Chris, my mom wants to have lunch with me. I said, obviously, go have lunch with your mom. What kind of question is that? He said, yeah, but what you don't understand is my mom gave me away when I was 2 years old. That's right. She basically handed me off to an adoption agency and said, I don't want this kid anymore. She gave me up for good, and now she wants to have lunch with me, Chris. I said, wow, that is super powerful. What are you thinking about doing? He says, Chris, I don't know. I've hated this woman my whole life. You got to realize she gave me away when I was 2 years old. What kind of person could give away a baby is what he said. But after talking to me and hearing that I forgave my mother's killer after taking her life, he said, you know what? Maybe I can have lunch with her. So he does this, guys, and I check back up with him weeks later. I said, how did it go? How did the lunch go? He said, Chris, it was amazing. It's crazy to think that I can forgive my mom for giving me away when I was 2 years old, but I know now that she and I have a great relationship, and that all stemmed from the power of forgiveness. Guys, I know that it hurts. I know that it's painful, but when we unlock the power of forgiveness, I think, again, that it is one of the true keys to happiness. So whether you're forgiving your friend, your old friend, your parents, grandparents, or maybe even yourself, realize this. Forgiveness, although tough, is one of the true keys to happiness. Thank you, guys. God bless.